guys are in on stopping future forever wars. We all see how that's playing out here. So I think that almost in many ways, him going into the Supreme Court in this unprecedented act was almost like a cry for help here. That please bail me out because I'm such not just an ineffective leader, but turned into just a massive political loser. The same man.
The other thing is, if this is going to apply for the future, I mean, Justice Sotomayor had an exchange with John Sauer about why it's not retroactive. Let me just play that.
The logic of your position, if accepted, is that this president or the next president or a Congress or someone else could decide that it shouldn't be prospective. There would be nothing limiting that, according to your theory.
We believe the court should do what it did in Sessions against Morales-Santana, where there was a ruling that would have deprived people who are already citizens of citizenship, and the court said this applies prospectively only. Maybe that's the appropriate course here.
But that's not what we did in Chin.
We think that the Sessions provides the proper course here, and that's what we're asking. We are not asking for any retroactive relief.
What is to stop a future president from just writing an executive order that says all those other people, actually, they're not citizens either?
Let me actually be a little counterintuitive here, which is as follows. I think it's important to have this discussion, actually. And I say this because we are at a moment in America where we are deciding who gets to be an American and why. And I think it is important that the Supreme Court weigh in on this issue precisely for what Sotomayor says, that this needs to be settled law. We need to understand what the rules of the road are and have the president and his people make the best case. And if that's their best case, then great. And then whatever comes down the pipe, let that be settled law. Because what we can't have, and what we've had for too long, is this idea that everything is conditional. That you are here, maybe if you're born in the country you can stay, maybe you can't, maybe if Biden gave you legal status, that allows you to stay, maybe it doesn't. I mean, this is the problem. We need to have, especially on this issue, settled.
And the other thing that this puts on the table is this question, Scott, of whether the president unilaterally has the ability to just decide who gets to be a citizen and who doesn't in this country.
Well, I think you put the executive order on the table to do exactly what you said, to have the debate and to get it to the Supreme Court. I actually agree with you. I think this is a debate that's worth having. And, it's not a fringe position the president has.
It is kind of a fringe position.
Most Republicans and millions of Americans agree with him.
70%, just on the facts, 70% in the latest polling that we have on this, Quinnipiac from December, say that they should keep the 1989 ruling on birthright citizenship. Just 24% say they should reverse it. This is a fringe position that only recently has become something that is now front of mind for some conservatives, but clearly it shows many conservatives do not agree.
You just raised the critical point. Recent events have demanded that we have this debate. We had millions upon millions of people come into this country over several years. That changed, I think, the contours of our immigration debate generally. We now have other emerging evidence that there are people in other countries, particularly China, that are taking advantage and defrauding our visa system to try to have this birthright tourism, using some of our territories, like the Northern Mariana Islands, for instance, as like a birthright tourism maternity ward. These are debates worth having. Are there people who are trying to take advantage of us and our good nature here as Americans and be part of our country over a long period of time and have no allegiance or loyalty to the United States at all? It is a debate worth having. I don't know what the court's going to do. Most legal analysts say it's not going to go his way, but I think this debate is worth having. And one thing that was said, we're living in a world where a lot of people can get here, and a lot of people that don't like us and want to hurt our country can get here.
We should just say that 9% of children born in this country are born to people who are not legally here. So it's actually a very small number.
If it's a debate that we should have about birth tourism, which has been going on for a very long time, it's one that you have to address with the Constitution, not with an executive order. Elliot Williams, thank you very much